We live.
We live.
It's the DanYo&Tita podcast episode 13.
Lucky number 13.
You know what I mean? We got King Kong in the building.
How you doing, everybody?
Just introduce ourselves. I'm Daniel.
I'm Tita.
Aisha.
I'm Dip.
King Kong, yeah.
King Kong's in the building.
King Kong,
Man,
welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be here with such fine humans.
Oh, man. I don't even know how to introduce this man. Man of many talents.
Many talents.
Many talents. A man that's about the community as well.
True.
Deep in the community. I remember when I was entering the music scene out here, one of the names I did hear was King Kong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And you know the crazy part, a lot of people don't even, like, if they meet me now, they don't even know about the music.
And that's one of the many questions. We're gonna get there because that's one of the many questions. Like, I think in this kind of era, you know, it's a different era. I don't think many people are you kind of involved. You kind of involved into a different section, man. You know what I'm saying? From your music, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So let's talk about how did because you're originally from
Chicago. Yes. West side.
Chicago out here.
Yes, sir.
Everybody from the Chi out here.
Yeah. Let's talk about your music career, boss man. How did you tell about your music career experience?
I always did write, you know, but as far as making music and producing, it was sort of like I felt I had to do it because I couldn't, you know, in Phoenix at that time, it was a little bit different. Like, it wasn't like, you know, everybody had dope beats. You know, everybody had, you know, so I had more music in my head than the people that I knew at that moment to give me that music. So when you hear something and then you learn, I'm one of these people, just show me the basics. And once I see that, I'm good. And that's how I started doing music. But the crazy part, the actual process of me recording music happened because I was going through a bad breakup.
Wow.
Oh,
and I needed to move that energy somewhere else because, you know, it's hard if anybody ever been in a bad relationship, especially if you're cohabitating. You know, you need that space. And sometimes, you know, the me doing the music allowed me the freedom to be in a different space, even though I was in the same, you know, home and everything. And she wasn't really supportive and I won't say she didn't support the music. I think she thought I was just using it as an excuse to not deal with her until a friend of mine came over and he was like, "Here, let me hear something." And then when I started playing these beats, he was like, "Man, you did all these?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then her eyes kind of was like, "Oh, wow, he was really in there working. I thought he was just up in there, you know, just trying to get away and everything." But that's how I met Dip because he was with Dub Nation at the time. And they was at out in Tempe at what's the spot that closed?
Big Fish Pub.
Big Fish Pub. Yeah. And everybody was in there. Yeah.
Long time ago. Get with the times.
Yeah, long time ago.
All the way out of the
And I was like, "Hey man, I like what y'all doing, man. I got some music, you know what I'm saying? Can I, you know?" And they at least listen, you know what I'm saying? I remember, but because what people don't understand now, it's a different ball game. You can put your music out and everybody can hear it all at one time and then they can get at you immediately. Back then it was like, "Hey, I got some music, man. Can y'all check it out?" They were like, "Yeah, let me get your number." But it was like a year until like I had one of my OGs and Drama that was just in here a minute ago. He was working with one of my partners named Larry back in the day.
Really?
So Larry, my OG partner. So they like family.
Wow.
So when I stopped by Larry's house and I was playing this music and I was like, "Man, ain't nobody messing with me." And he was like, "Ken, your beats is dope. You should start doing it yourself." And I was like, "Man, I don't really, I'm too old to be rapping and all this kind of stuff now." And he was like, "Nah, Ken, you should do it." And once I started recording and it just started to feel real good, then I started performing. And then the same people that I told a year ago that I had beats, when they heard the music, they was like, man, who do your beats? And I was like, I do my beats. And they was like, man, let me get your number. And this is how I would do them. I would say, man, yeah, hit me. Yeah. And they would call me and I would go, oh, I already got your number. I told you a year ago.
Ain't that funny how that happens?
Man, so it's crazy. And music is just always been a part of my life. You know, being in Chicago, you're in the center of everything from east to west, north to south. So we got everything coming through there. So, you know, with me, it wasn't like I only listen to this kind of music or that kind of music. I just listen to music.
I must have been drunk one of those nights, man, because I do not remember you saying that you make your motherfucking beats.
Yeah.
I mean, I was probably drunk, man.
That's a good possibility.
It could have been.
It's 100%.
You said that's a possibility.
It could have been.
That's my bad. Our beats was whack as fuck too. We should have been getting beats from this nigga. I don't know what we was doing. We was whack, man.
So how long you been in Arizona?
I've been here actually 30 years. People, 30 years? Yeah, people think I'm a child. My birthday is next Friday.
Wow. Happy birthday right now.
Thank you. And we'll be doing a celebration this Tuesday at my event, The Underground Experience.
We definitely gonna get into that.
And
we're definitely gonna talk about that.
I'll be 47 this week, man, next week.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't age no more like this.
Right.
I didn't want to get into that.
Right. But I tell people that because you have some people that feel like when you hit a certain age, certain people will try to put you in a box and tell you can't do certain things, or you know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
you can't.
If your energy is right, you good.
The whole box thing is done to me. That's over. Right. That was back in the 90s and the early 2000s.
Right, we
that
got
whole
people
box thing
55, 60 still rapping. So you know what I'm saying?
Jay-Z's damn near 50 years old.
Yeah.
Still going
E40 and Scarface.
E40. Yeah, that's what I'm
saying.
That box thing played out. So what do you like doing? You like rapping or producing?
Man,
what's your passion?
You know, the crazy part, when I was in my bathroom getting ready this morning, I looked myself in the mirror and I've had conversations with people, and something just hit me, and I was like, first and foremost, before I'm anything, I'm an MC. So
that's why
you know what I'm saying. Like the beats came because I felt I needed to do.
Necessity.
It was out of necessity. But me, like anybody, like, because I haven't been actually producing or doing too much lately. But if anybody called me and say, can you get down? My pen game is always active. You know,
I can write, man.
Yeah. I get down.
I used to love seeing you doing your shows. Man.
Yeah.
I always think it was raw.
Yeah.
I was always front row.
Yeah.
For sure, you know what I'm saying? I gave you love. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
Man. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that.
Definitely. See, there's a legend out here in these streets, man. People need to pay attention. King Kong's a legend out here.
Hell yeah.
They ain't woke, they sleep.
Right.
I actually I want to tell a story. I ran into Ken outside of the music, like I think at a Walmart a couple times. Couple times I ran into you, but when you was with when you were doing your situation with Poetic Soul, I think it was the day before I got married. We went to Poetic Soul.
Yeah, y'all did.
And then Cosmic was talking to me about get on stage. I was like, nah, man, this is a different crowd. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The Poetic people is a different crowd. You know what I'm saying? They don't play. But I was like, nah, I don't want to get on stage. And then you came up to me, man. He's like, getting on stage tonight? I said, nah. He said, you get on stage tonight. And I was like, nah.
That's how you do it, man.
And
he'll make you get on stage.
Right. Good.
He was like, you on stage? I was like, I ain't got no poem off deck. You know what I'm saying? But then I thought of something I had wrote for Tito like 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
6 months ago. And I went on there, but I was shaking. I was shaking on.
How you shaking on the stage? You get on stage and rap with no problem.
It's a different. It was a different crowd. And but yeah, I went on stage, man, and I appreciate you that. Because the next day, I got married. That next day. So
that was the.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's pretty dope, man.
All right, it's time.
Right.
Yeah, that's dope.
The crazy part, a lot of people feel that it's a different crowd. They just look different, you know, because more people in that world, a little bit more mature, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what it is.
But they all from the hip hop generation, definitely. You know what I'm saying? So I used to have to, when we first started at Poetic Soul, when I was doing Poetic Soul, I would have to go table to table and be like, okay, who performing? And everybody was like, I'm not, but she is. Like the whole table to point out somebody. And then I have to go over there and like, what's your name? And they be like, no, I'm not getting it. Just tell me your name. You ain't getting on stage. And they give me their name and I'll be like, all right, you next. And then they be like, wait a minute. But it was always like, sometimes you have to give people, I call it positive peer pressure.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember sometimes we used to have to be, and it wasn't on stage yet. We was all on the floor in the same little room, but I was sometimes like, can I get some support up here? And like people would come up just to be there to show these other like artists that, because it's one thing to anybody's ever been on stage, rapping, singing, doing acting, whatever you do. Just speaking in general, when you have a crowd of people that you really don't know, and you in your mind, man, are they gonna connect with my music? Can I reach them? And you know what I'm saying? You always go on stage with that.
Definitely.
So, you know, I understood where he was coming from, but I know he got music and everything. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? My thing is we have to bridge the gaps. Right. You know what I'm saying? And like the same way,
they're both the same.
They the
Poetry,
same, you know,
the same.
Yeah. Them people smoke more better weed than the average person, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they drink better too, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you get a little bit more mature. You don't want to dress a certain kind of way. You want to move a certain kind of way, but they still get down though. Definitely. They still get down.
Definitely.
And like the environment there at the Poetic Soul, man, it was like I was somewhere else.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
The energy, it was different.
It was like classy. I felt like I was like in a 60s saloon or something. I was like, this is because I've never been to like no Poetic Souls, no poetry, you know.
Right.
You know, back in my hometown, there's nothing like that. So I was like, what's 60s Souls? They do poetry, and I was like, okay. Yeah. I saw the wine glasses, the ladies with the heels and the black dress.
Right.
I was like, this is different.
Spoken word.
Yeah. But then they sing and one, you know, it's just like if you ever been to any church and music comes on.
Right.
The unification of everybody in there, how they glued to that, that's how it is.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Same way if somebody says something and doing a spoken word piece and they say something that just hit you and you look around, everybody going, woo.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
you feel it.
You feel it. Either way, you're gonna feel it.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's you know, you don't expect it to be everybody like bond, like, you know how in the club people like, you know, go in their little groups.
Right.
At the end of the day, when we were, because we went like twice or three times, we've gone at the end of the day, everybody's like in the front, you know, like everybody's sitting with everybody's talking to everybody. Everybody's bonding.
Great energy, good energy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's completely different. Like it's a different scenario, but you know, same crowd, you know, same energy. Nice.
Yeah, that's what I hate about the hip hop shows. Sometimes I hear the togetherness wasn't really there, and I think that in those type crowds, people are a little more, you know, people are not coming there to be and let their little clique.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because that's how it was with most of the hip hop shows. It's just cliques. Your clique, my clique, everybody's clique. You come see your clique, and that's it. You know, and it's more when a situation like that, it's more of a togetherness.
Right.
You know, you go to books, everybody's rooting for everyone.
Right.
At the hip hop shows and this stuff, it's like, oh, once they're off stage, everybody leaves. You know,
right.
They don't show support. Like, oh yeah, you know,
they don't stay on to watch. They don't stay there to watch the other acts perform.
Now I didn't cuss the crowd out for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. Several times.
I think I've heard it one time.
It happens, but that's very true. And it's all about unity and unification at the end of the day, because you're going to have black, white, Mexican, Latino. You're going to have everybody in the building, especially if you're in Arizona, Native Americans. You're going to have everybody in the building. And the one thing you don't want people to feel is excluded.
Right.
You want inclusion, and that's the main thing I try to press for. You know, I growing up in church, all of a sudden, one of my kinfolk, Jay White, he was in there playing his sax, and he was doing "Can We Talk?"
Wow!
And shout out to him. He got an album that he just released.
That's dope.
EP, and I was like, I told the band, keep that going.
Right.
And I told everybody in the building, everybody stand up.
Right.
And everybody stood up. And sometimes we don't realize the power we have.
We don't.
With our voice and a microphone.
No, you don't.
So I was like, everybody stand up, everybody on your feet. And everybody stood up. And I was like, go meet 3 people you didn't know before you got here. Now, go. And everybody scattered.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that. Everybody just scattered. And it kind of, it wasn't nothing planned.
Right.
So, but when it happened, I kind of was like, whoa, that's deep. That
Right.
you can like move an entire crowd of people. So it made me, you know, respect what I do on the microphone that much more, and, you know, realize that you can use it for positive or negative. You know, it's very rare that the positive gets shown first.
No,
because they'll show anything bad happening to somebody, you know, first, and you know, people making mistakes, people getting hurt.
Right.
But when you're talking about people doing things for the community, or people trying to bring the people together, sometimes you don't get the same amount of airplay.
No, you
because
don't.
it's a positive situation.
Right. Definitely. More negativity is focused on now, especially in the, like I said last week, the social media generation.
Oh yeah.
We just focused on the negative.
Yeah.
It's like with right now with the teriyaki Tekashi. I mean,
Teriyaki.
He called him teriyaki.
My bad.
He thinking about some food right now.
I've been calling him teriyaki for years, if you want to know the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway, with his situation, we're gonna share that.
Yeah.
You know, that's gonna get 1 million shares.
Right.
If the kid was doing something positive, no one would really talk about that.
Right.
You know? But you know, he done already messed his life up doing stupid shit. But I'm just saying that we don't focus on positive enough, man. We're always focused on the negative things and what we can't do and what we shouldn't do and what this person shouldn't do, and we don't talk about the positive enough.
Right.
And I think that you definitely bring a lot of positive things to the scene, and I think it's pretty dope what you've been doing, man. With what you're doing right now, what you got going.
On Monday nights, I have my own radio show. I need to bring y'all on too.
It's Let's Talk About
Let's
It,
talk
right?
about
7 to
it.
9, right?
7 to 9 Arizona time. Icon. Shout out to everybody over there, and shout out to my people over at Support District Radio. That's family too. But on my radio show, I try to bring like things to light that we don't normally talk about.
Right.
I focus on week to week basis. I do things different. Usually first week of the month, we talk about local issues in the community and politics on a local and national level.
Okay.
The second week, we do financial planning and money management. So I bring in a financial planner to come in and, you know, have people ask questions, because what I found in the minority community, if you don't have somebody that looks like you sometimes have a question, but you don't feel comfortable asking them because you don't want
to feel like
exactly
uneducated.
Exactly. So when you bring people in that look like you, and you can ask them questions, and you can meet with them, and you can, that's powerful. So that's been good. We also been talking about mental and physical health, because especially in the minority community, those are two issues that we don't really talk about, especially mental health. We don't talk about it. We've also done shows on love and relationships, of course. We just recently done a show about families dealing with other family members that have been released from jail or prison, and then also helping with the recidivism. I brought in someone that helps felons find jobs and things like that. So I just try to do things that I feel like the community needs more than just trying to do what everybody else does. And you know what I'm saying? I just try to be different.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's important, because everybody does hip hop. Right. So I think that's what we're trying to do also. You know what I mean? We want to do something different instead of bringing the same old energy to the scene. Everybody does hip hop. Let's talk about some positivity. Let's talk about some things that's helping out the community and what we can do to help the community. So I love everything you're doing out there.
I appreciate that.
I think one of the last topics on your show, actually, you know, I watch it. I was definitely support you on that. Was bridging the gap between black men and black women. Accountability. I was. Let's get into that a little bit.
I should have removed black and just said the gap between men and women. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's powerful, man, because a lot of us are carrying around generational baggage. You know what I'm saying?
True.
You have men that didn't have fathers to teach them how to be real leaders and men in their home, and how to deal with women, how to deal with adversity, how to deal with when that relationship gets difficult, how to communicate better. Then you have women who've been in a house where maybe their father wasn't there, and their mother or their aunties is like, you don't need a man, you can do things for yourself. And you know, you have somebody that that's supposed to be a man, but he doesn't really know exactly how to be 100% leader. And then you have a woman who doesn't really want to lead, want to follow, because she's been told you a leader. So it can get difficult at times.
And then she's also been told that most men are bad leaders.
Yes.
So it's bad all the way around.
It is.
And especially it's bad for the black woman and for the black man.
Yeah.
It's bad for the black woman because she's thinking bad about the black man.
Exactly.
And she thinks that the black man is really and truly low.
Right.
You know what I mean?
A lot of them.
Man, to most races, to most genders, we're the lowest of the totem pole right now. So we need to change that.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Then we need to change
that. And a lot of it had to do with our own accountability. Right. Like it's, you know, I have a daughter. She's 14. She's a freshman. I just text her this morning. I don't even call her name. I just call her freshman now. What's up, freshman? And but I have two sons too. They're older. My daughter is a whole different ball game.
Right.
Because I refuse to have my daughter looking for her father figure.
Right.
In another boy or young man, or you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And those things are important. Definitely. Because when you have especially young ladies in different communities where there's, especially now with the internet and everything, like things that they're exposed to now at such an early age, man, you have to talk to your children. You have to have an open line of communication where they feel like they can come and talk to you about anything.
Right.
Because if they feel like I can't even talk to my parents, you already lost.
Right. No, you're right.
Definitely.
You know.
I want to ask you how you feel about your transition with you was on Pillow Talk.
Yeah.
Also, you were on the Bro Show.
Yeah.
How does that feel now having your own show? And also, I know that you were the host of over at Poetic Soul. And now you have your own underground experience.
Right.
So how does that transition? How you you have your own now?
Yeah. Shout out to Pillow Talk. That's where I started in radio.
Really?
Me and lovely Amanda, we were friends before.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a post that she was doing a show called Pillow Talk. And I was just being smart. And I was like, how are you going to have a show called Pillow Talk, but you don't have a male perspective on the show?
Right.
And she was like, well, if you want to come on in, come in. And I'm like, all right, I'll come in. And I came on and our chemistry was just so dope.
Yeah.
She was like, Ken, I need you to come back next week. And I was like, all right, I'm free. And then she was like, Ken, I want you to be my co-host. I'm like, all right, cool.
Right.
And the Bro Show is actually I created the Bro Show.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my creation.
Okay.
A couple of guys, my guy brother Anthony went to a event one night, and there was a lot of women in there, and he said, man, every time I got up to try to say something, the women was cutting me off. I couldn't even get a word out. I said, man, I'm gonna create a show where brothers like you will get a chance to speak, and a woman ain't gonna be able to cut you off. In fact, I'm gonna call it the Bro Show. And that's how the Bro Show happened.
Okay.
Then I left because of Poetic Soul. We were doing the Thursday nights, and I had me and Q Cosmic. We started Poetic Soul together. So I don't want anybody out there to be misguided with information.
Right.
We started it together.
Right.
So at the time we were doing Wednesdays in Phoenix, which they still do on Wednesdays. We had started doing a show on Thursday in Tucson,
mm-hmm.
which conflicted with me doing Pillow Talk and the Bro Show.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what happened. Then that didn't work out, but my guy Reggie, aka 78%, he kind of took my spot over there. That's like my brother. Like I've been knowing him almost since I've been here.
Right.
And I was chilling for a while, and I was like, man, I kind of want to get back in the radio, but I want to do my own thing.
Right.
You know, I could talk sex and I could talk all that kind of stuff all day, but at the end of the day, I wanted to do something I felt was a little bit more needed.
Right.
And Let's Talk About It just came out. I hit John Blaze like, man, I think I want to get back on radio.
Right.
And he was like, cool. And he was like, what's up with SDR? I said, nothing, we cool, but I just feel like this is a better platform for myself.
Right.
And out of respect, I called Amanda, lovely, and just told her, just to let you know, I'm coming back and I'm coming over here. We've never had an issue or no problems or anything, but she just respected the fact that I called in advance that she didn't find out on the internet or through the word, you know what I'm saying, on the street. Yeah, from somebody else. So
stand-up guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And the underground
nice guys finish last.
Yeah. The underground became what it was because I left Poetic Soul. We have some creative differences, and sometimes when you have individuals that start off one way together, you can sort of like bridge and, you know, break off and start moving in opposite directions.
Is that a communication issue?
It was definitely communication. Okay. It was the communication really went bad, and you know, I still send people to Poetic Soul because my DNA is a part of that event, you know, and it's still a good event. But the underground happened because I took some time away to figure out what I wanted to do, and the spot that I started the underground in, it's not there anymore, but it was a level below the ground. I was like, man, we underground up in here. So that's how the underground came. And then the experience was just, when you get here, the whole experience is what it is. And we've been going over a year now, almost 18 months, which is crazy.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And man, my band is dope. Shout out to DJ DN3, the band, Underground Funk Band. Man, like, so many artists come through there, and it's sort of like a musician's cove too, because a lot of musicians come and they just go, man, can I just sit in? I'm like, man, go ahead, you know. And it's all about community at the end of the day, and networking.
And you giving a platform to people who usually wouldn't even have a platform to be able to do music, because it's so many fucking hip hop shows, but we don't have many shows that's based on just music, and just music, and what can you play, what do you love to play? We don't have that. We just hip hop, rap, that's it.
And we you know, on my flyers, it always said all artists welcome. So if you sing, if you rap, if you do spoken word, whatever you do, if you do comedy, whatever, I have a stage for you. If you play musician, if you play an instrument, come on, sit in, and everything like that. So it's been a very worthwhile. It's different when you're doing things yourself, because it's really all on you at the end of the day. And I'm just glad. I didn't know what I was doing years ago was networking. I just thought it was just me introducing myself to people, and you know what I'm saying, man, I like what you do, man, and my name is Ken, and keeping it. When I started doing my own thing, things came around full circle, where I would be like, man, I got an event, are you available? Hell yeah, I'll do that for you, Ken. And I was just like, you know, it kind of caught me off guard, because sometimes you don't know who's watching. And people have hit me out of nowhere and was like, bro, I've been watching what you're doing, man. I just want to say thank you for what you do. Like 2 weeks ago, a friend of mine, she was on Facebook, and she asked me, B-Tang, she asked me, Ken, she said, I'm looking for a Black psychologist. And she tagged me in the post, Ken, can you help? Because she knows I'm around.
You know every motherfucker about it.
So I put a post up on my page. I'm looking, can you guys help me? I'm looking for a friend of, you know, looking for a Black psychologist. And so many people commented on that string, from counselors to psychiatrists to psychologists. I didn't even know that there was a Black psychologist group here in Arizona. And so many people got on that string and was like, thank you so much. You don't know how bad I needed this information right now.
And that's what it's all about, man.
And I got kind of like, one brother, he made a comment, Ken, you don't know how I in need of this, like right at this moment. And I could feel the pain in how he posted it, that it almost had me in tears, because I was like, man, like, when you're doing things for the people and they're like, Ken, I really appreciate it and stuff like that, that makes me feel good. Money is one thing. I've had it all. I've had money. I've had, you know what I'm saying, I've been broke. I done everything. So for me, it's not even about financial gains. It's all about me being able to walk down the street or walk in places, and I know people genuinely like me being there. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of going, oh yeah, you know, Ken here. You know.
All right, we're gonna do this, since you from Chicago.
Yeah.
We're gonna put you onto the top 10 right here. Well, Like we do a top 10 list.
Okay.
I'm gonna split yours in a top 5.
Okay.
So let's do top 5 greatest Chicago artists.
Ooh, are we talking like all artistry?
All artistry, whatever artistry you want to put in top 5.
That's a tough list.
That is. I don't know.
Man,
top 5 greatest artists from Chicago.
That's deep. Let me give you the 5 that come to my mind like real quick. And I'm saying any artists that are based out of Chicago, whether they were born there, but they were, let's say, based out of Chicago.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah, I say Muddy Waters is up there.
I like that. Definitely.
Minnie Riperton is up there.
Wow. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Kanye is definitely up there.
Okay.
Unfortunately, like he's very talented. You know, I hope the brother can get his center back. I'm gonna just say Common, and then probably the #1 artist of this generation that people don't want me to say, R. Kelly.
Yeah, you gotta say him.
You gotta say him.
You have to.
You gotta say him.
Hey, there would be no 90s.
That's true. I mean,
many of you wouldn't even be born without R. Kelly music. But that's right.
Right.
All of y'all was born doing this music almost.
And wait, can I get it? And Earth, Wind, and Fire was birthed in Chicago as well.
Really? I didn't know that.
Okay.
So damn. Yeah, I got it. I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna stop there.
And we're gonna do top 5 food places in Chicago. And that's your top 10 list.
Oh man. Well, I'm a Giordano's pizza fan, so I'm gonna put Giordano's up there. Right. I need my White Castle. Shout out, they building one out here.
You're thinking about it right now.
Right down the street from us.
Yeah. I'm not that far away, right? I'm gonna go
October 23rd for the White Castle.
I'll be there. Right. I'll be there.
Yeah, my favorite barbecue spot was a spot called Harold's. I mean, not Harold's, Coleman's. That's on the west side. Okay. But Harold's is good too. But Harold's is actually coming out here. So Harold's
is that official? Yeah. I heard about it, but
that's they say it's official. We'll find out when we try the mild sauce. Right. But then there's another barbecue spot personally that I love. It's called Smoking M's. Okay. It's out in Forest Park.
You start running.
Man.
Man. Shit like this, smoke, man.
Do you think any of the places that have locations from Chicago and located out here, do you think they're anywhere near the taste of
Portillo's?
Portillo's is
Portillo's.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
Because like Portillo's, everything tastes good.
It is.
It don't have like that deep soul connection. Like if you go to one of the little hole in the wall spots. Yeah. But I remember me and my boy B House. Shout out to B House. Me, him, and my big bro. We went to Portillo's. The first one that they put out there off of Shea and.
Yeah.
Man, I remember the first time we took a bite out of our Italian beefs, and we was just looking at each other with tears there coming down. It's like, man, like this is it, man. Yeah, it took me back.
Nah, they bomb. That's good stuff.
Yeah,
I used to work at CVS right next to that. So we used to go there for lunch all the time, man. Hit that shit.
I mean,
have to wipe a tear away right now.
Place is fire.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. All right, are we playing the game today? Or?
Yeah, we are playing the game. I got you.
So what are we doing? A 7 out of 10?
No, she only
3
did.
out of 5.
3 out of 5.
So
3 out of 5.
If you get playing the game, if you get 3 out of 5, we will donate $50 to your favorite charity.
Oh, okay.
And you have 2 lifelines that can assist you.
Oh, okay. That's dope.
You ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right.
Money on the line.
This week, the game is whose line is it anyway?
Ooh.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably use them lifelines. I'm ready though. Let's go.
All right.
First one is I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Oh, that's the Godfather.
You got it.
You got it.
That's the Godfather.
Got that clap.
That's Don Corleone.
That's pretty easy. I told you.
Yeah. Do easy one on that.
They might be all a little easy because I kind of tested it out last night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm raw though.
You good?
Right.
You might be. They call me Mr. Tibbs.
Oh, that's from The Heat of the Night.
There you go.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Got that
clap. Yeah. All right. So we got 3 more to go.
Okay.
But you got to get 1 more right to donate the $50.
Let's do it. I just
we might be coming out of $50 this week.
I got that bonus on Friday, so I'm good.
Big money.
I got that bonus. You good?
I see dead people.
Oh, this was an easy list this week.
Yeah.
Wait, I see dead people. Wow.
Oh, come on, you ready?
I know it, but I'm like, what movie is it from?
I couldn't think of the name of the movie myself. No, I knew the movie, but I couldn't think of the
I got it right now, man. I got it right now.
Is it the Sixth Element or the Sixth Sense? The Sixth Sense?
You should have used a lifeline. Next question.
What was it though?
It's the Sixth Sense.
I said the Sixth Element. The Sixth Sense.
You got it wrong.
The Sixth Element was Chris Tucker.
Yeah. I know it was a 6 in it.
We still good at the donation money.
Okay. We got 2
For
though.
now.
I still got 2 lifelines.
Right.
The secret is you got to coordinate.
Ooh.
Oh, bam. Boomerang. I already know what that is. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You donate $50 to your favorite donation or your fundraiser.
Can I name that what I want it to be?
Yes.
Because I met these brothers last week and this week, matter of fact. And it came out of a conversation on Facebook where there was a brother that asked a question like, where can men go that's having problems with the mother of their children when they have custody,
right.
or a safe place, like when a mother has that same issue, they have like places that they can go and get support and things like that.
Because the chips are stacked against the men.
Exactly. And these women were in there like, first of all, men don't want to be men no more. I'm like, wait a minute.
That's the first thing the women hop
and
on.
if a man let a woman beat him, he's a punk. I said, man, the brother didn't ask that. I made a comment, something to the effect of, when men are asking for help, it's not because of physical abuse, which can happen.
Right.
It's more because of mental abuse and harassment.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I said sometimes men get put in situations where false claims are made against them.
Mm-hmm.
And even once the claim is found to be false, they still are affected the rest of their lives because of that.
Definitely.
I said, so the brother just simply asked if there was a place for help. And one woman was like, well, based on the amount of single men that are parents compared to the amount of single women that are parents, it's not even, it's such a small number that they don't even really need support anyway. So I'm like, so you telling me, let's say if it's 15 million single mothers and 1 million men that are single taking care of their kids, the men don't need help because it's only 1 million of them.
And they're taking a lot of assumptions too.
Just
because the mother has the child, that doesn't always 100% mean that's the best situation for the child.
Right.
They always give the mother the benefit of the doubt because every state is a mother for the mother in any situation because they think that the child should be with the mother. But even though the mother may not be a better parent,
she may not be fit. To be a parent.
You have to the court system is not really meant for men to win. You gotta
it's not.
She gotta be in jail
on drugs.
Can't be found. And then they go, okay, we'll let you have joint custody. But the name of the organization is Father for Fathers.
Okay. Father for Fathers.
Yeah.
Father for Fathers.
Fathers for Fathers. And I just met these brothers the other day.
Okay.
Brother I met originally, his name is Kasasi, and they have an organization, and it's for fathers that have been through some things, and they're in trying to be a part of their children's lives. Some not able to be a part of their children's lives. Some have had false claims against them, and it's just about them trying to get some support. So when they trying to do something out there, I just want to support them. So that $50 can go to them.
Definitely. And they have a website and everything that we can.
Let me give you this card right here, because they his information is on there as well, and they can give you whatever information for the donation and everything.
We definitely will make sure we get donation over to Fathers for Fathers and get something going for them, man. Because anything to help the community, that's what we're trying to do. This, that's why we want to do this. It's not a lot, you know, but hey, and anything can help.
Exactly. And there is just right now, from what I can see, is a 2-man crew, and they're trying to get more involved in, you know, the community and things like that. So I think that should be something that at least can help them do something. You know, it might put some paper in the printer, you know what I'm saying, some things like that. But hey, everything counts. Everything matters.
Everything.
Definitely.
So we're gonna get into some word on the street news.
What's the word this
DanYo
week?
and Dip.
What's up?
So we'll get some news stories and like, you know, see your reaction with that as well. You know, 50 Cent's coming out with the TV show, the Black Mafia series, family series. It's based on BMF and everything. Rumored to be a producer on the show is Drake.
Wow.
Drake is rumored to be involved with the show as well. So we'll see how that's gonna be back, because you know Drake also helped get Top Boy back onto Netflix as well. So we'll see how that one is. Dave East is accused of battery after a threesome, according to police report obtained by Team Z. He was having a threesome with some ladies.
Right.
And one lady was upset that she wasn't getting enough attention.
That's how it goes, man.
So he gets charged with
no comment.
Well, he had to choke her out, and she was tripping.
She probably was choking her, and she passed out during sex and woke up, and he was with the other chick.
Right. They said he said that the lady threw some champagne bottles at him, and she's saying that he choked her. That's what she's saying. And so, but when all that commotion was going on, Davies' friend did come in there and separate everybody, saying that Davies wasn't the aggressor, but just because of the accusation, Davies is in that situation.
That sucks.
I hope he don't got.
He picked the wrong two chicks.
Yeah, he picked the wrong two chicks. He probably got
at least one.
At least one.
Right.
The ugly friend was mad.
I hope he don't got a woman at home, because that's not the story you want to come home to. Yeah, baby, I was having a threesome, and why you? Yeah, I'll tell you about it later.
For real. I don't know if y'all heard about this. Ohio woman accused of sending a video of her trying to drown her 6-year-old son in the bathtub, and she sent it to the child's father.
Didn't she record that live and send it to him?
Yeah, she recorded and live and sent it.
This happened before, like in the past.
That's happened because there's a couple of stories of this situation.
Yeah, this is.
So I don't know what in her mind will make her want to do something to her. That's she need to get locked up for that.
That's crazy.
That's when you kick in doors,
man.
Yeah. But when you kick in that door, then you're not gonna get her, because those are the things that make you mad as a father,
right? Definitely. And that's what I'm saying. That's a situation where the courts gave the child, sounds like it, to the mother, and look what happened.
Yeah,
definitely
wrong person.
Mother wasn't fit. Did they do like? Has she had any type of mental evaluation?
But see, that's what they're gonna do next.
She going through? Like,
let her get some help, and once she gets some help, then we'll get the child back.
Right.
Most definitely.
Right.
This one we got right here is a woman who bailed out R. Kelly wants her money back because she didn't know R. Kelly was gonna go get indicted again in different states. So she wants the money back that she did.
Well, sorry.
That's what the court told her.
Gave you money.
Yeah, you know, I don't even know why you helped out R. Kelly in the first damn place. You know what I'm saying?
Your mind was telling you no.
Hey,
but your wallet was telling you yes.
Before King go, he has to hit that high note.
Yeah,
one time.
Exactly.
DMX, he signed back with Def Jam back at home over there, and there's rumor that DMX might be dropping a Christmas album called DMXmas. DMXmas. I think that'll be actually dope.
Yeah.
You don't think that'll be dope?
Hey, it might be, man.
It's gonna be different.
He's singing Rudolph's Red-Nosed Reindeer. Yeah. I don't know.
And some Jingle Bells.
Right, Jingle Bells. I don't know, man.
It's a shame.
I don't know if we're gonna do all that.
It's a shame because he's one of the hardest MCs ever.
Yeah, definitely.
Ever.
He gonna bring barking dogs to Christmas.
Yeah.
He is back at Def Jam. That's what originally signed him. So
right.
They got a plan.
They definitely got a plan. They got something going. Swiss is involved in the situation as well.
The most overrated producer in history. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Overrated.
Yes.
I think I had that conversation with you on Facebook about that. We're not gonna get into that.
He had a couple.
I think we had a conversation.
Let me not say he hasn't had dope music in the past, but he's overrated.
I would agree.
Would you take Pete Rock or would you exactly?
Let's get to the next joint. Let's get to the next joint. We're gonna have a hip hop show on that one right there.
Right. I'll come back for that.
Right. Lyft is facing a sexual assault case. A Lyft driver picked up a woman, kidnapped her by gunpoint, and then took her from New York to New Jersey, cross state. And she was gang raped by 2 other men.
They life.
Wow.
This actually happened.
Yeah, they're lifers now.
Yeah.
These actually happened in 2000.
Across state lines?
Yeah, it's across state lines.
It's in the state. It's federal. So they lifers now, and they might die in prison when people find out.
And they plan all that. Like, yeah, go and get a dog and bring out like.
Well, all these women in the world that just want to give you some. Right. You ain't even got to know nothing about it. You just want to give it to you.
Yeah.
Why people take it?
Get it?
What happened? See, the situation. This happened last year, right? And she reported it to Lyft and everything. Lyft still charged her for the ride. After she already told them what's going on, they still hit her with the charge.
We still need that $26.99.
Yeah, that's the level of disrespect.
And they charge you. The thing about Lyft is they charge your credit card before they even pick you up.
Right.
Yeah, they see if you got anything in there.
They gave her a refund. Is what I guess they're saying, right?
Yeah, so
they should have given her a refund.
They probably told her, "We'll hold your refund until the end of the case, and we're going to check the outcome first."
It's $26, man. Damn.
Yeah. I want to talk about this. You know, Kendrick Lamar just became the longest charting hip hop album.
Kendrick
in history with his album Good Boy Man. What is it? Good
Kid,
Kid, Man City, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I just want to name I'm gonna name 10 of the top 10 longest hip hop albums on the Billboard 200. That's the longest it's been on there. Still number 1 is Eminem, even though Kendrick's number 1 for the album, but Eminem's still number 1 for Curtain Call, the hits. That's been on there for 462 weeks.
That album sucked, didn't it?
It was just a hits. It wasn't even. It
was a collection. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, almost 9 years.
Yeah, it's been on there for 462 weeks.
It is 9 years.
Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City.
Eminem.
That came out 2012, but it's been on there for 359 weeks.
7 years.
Number 3 is Eminem Show, 2002, but it's been on there for 357 weeks. Drake, Take Care. It came out in 2011.
That's not hip hop.
It came out It's been on the list for 341 weeks. The Eminem is back again with his album Recovery, 2010. It's been on there for 320 weeks. Then Drake again. Nothing Was the Same, 2013, 302 weeks. Then you have Tupac, Greatest Hits, that dropped in 98, 289 weeks. Then Drake again.
Dang.
Degrassi, Next Generation.
If you read This Is Too Late, dropped in 2015, 197 weeks. And you have Notorious B.I.G., Greatest Hits, that came out 2007, 192 weeks. Then Drake again.
Dang.
2006 with his album Views, 179 weeks. But then you have Dr. Dre, 2001, came out in 1999. It was on there for 164 weeks. That's number 11.
2 years.
Yeah.
Man.
And that was probably the greatest album.
But you got to remember
on the list. That's crazy.
As far as music business, you know how the streams work now and how they count album sales now. It's way different from what the 90s and early 2000s.
People can live off a single.
Right.
Like it's different. Like back in the day, like a lot of groups, like perfect example, Mellow Mayonnaise. He had Mentirosa or whatever. Mellow Mayonnaise. Y mañana ho to the ghost. I ain't got no money. You probably was.
That's before my time.
It came out in 1990. Right. I was a senior in high school. Right. That's how far back we go. Now, but I saw Old School show where he came out and rapped and did like a little intro and did that song. It was like peace. And I was like, damn, you can live. But now, if that song came out, I ain't go. Well, let's say if it came out in this generation, the way how it was then.
Yeah.
Financially, he could have lived a major lifestyle just by selling that single. Yeah. Because back then, record companies really didn't want to do singles because there really wasn't no money in them. But digitally, we ain't got to press nothing up. We can just send out some emails and
one song, man. That's all you need now.
Done deal.
All them 91 hit wonders.
All the one-hit wonders.
Yeah, that's why one-hit wonders come out every other week nowadays. It's one song, man, pop, and then disappear.
Because they all sound the same. The originality just is not there, you know. And I remember coming up as an MC, or even let's say if you were a producer, you couldn't sound like another producer.
No one.
And an MC couldn't sound like another MC unless they were part of a collective like Bone or, you know, stuff like that. Other than that, if somebody heard you sounding, they'd be like, bro, you
automatically this record coming out. Automatic.
Yep.
Definitely.
You biting me?
Exactly. Biting.
Right,
yes.
So let's get on with this the other more local news. 4-person ink cartridge theft crew caught in Goodyear trying to steal ink cartridges. 4 brothers. Goodyear police report that on September 11th they received information from Target employees that 4 suspects involved in a previous theft had just arrived at the national retailer to steal more ink cartridges. I guess this is a move for them. They allegedly stole over $6,000 in printer ink cartridges.
Damn, I wish I'd have hollered at me. My printer is out of ink right now. I had to go to FedEx to print some stuff yesterday.
I'm sure looking at it like ink cartridges, they got their face flashed over here, but these brothers, they've been stealing like $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 worth of ink cartridges, man.
What they doing with the ink cartridges?
They must got a hookup they can sell them to.
Yeah.
The flip.
Yeah. They said they're all from Victorville, California, and they came out here to hit a Target store for some ink cartridges, man. That's the licks we doing now.
Welcome to Arizona's jail system.
Right.
The penal system in Arizona.
They're not gonna like it too much. But 2 dead after shooting near 32nd Street and Roosevelt. According to police officers responding to the parking lot of an apartment complex near 32nd and Roosevelt just before 9 p.m. Once officers arrived at the scene, they found 2 people who had suffered fatal gun wounds. A 3rd victim was found at a local hospital with 9 life-threatening injuries. Police have identified the 2 victims who died as a 20-year-old man and a 20-year-old man and a 22-year-old man. The 3rd wounded suspect is a 17-year-old boy. Information what led up to the shooting and what the suspects are is unknown. So hopefully more information to come back out. And if I can, I'll remember and everything. I'll try to get more information on that. Right. Remains of a Tucson teen was found in the desert. They've been looking for the teen had been missing. And his remains, he was 16-year-old Joshua Tyler. I guess he died of dehydration in the desert.
Wow.
So yeah, walking around out there, man. I don't know.
Stay hydrated, drink some water.
It's not a game.
Apparently, I don't know exactly what was going on, but saying he was lost and he didn't have any water with him, so he died out there in the desert.
I wonder, was he high?
The
reason I'm saying that is, you just don't walk in the desert and get lost. You know, like don't you like go to a certain point and realize, you know what? I think I'm going the wrong way. Let me go back. I'm turning around.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's sad though.
And who leaves the house, especially in Arizona,
man,
without any water?
But I don't know if he was going for a hike or what he was doing. So I can't really say for sure on that what he was doing. So, but they did find him. He was missing. But a 69-year-old former elementary school teacher was arrested on numerous sexual explicit images and videos showing young girls was found on his computers. William T. Baker was booked in Maricopa jail on 10 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, according to a press release Friday. Court documents say Baker's a former elementary school teacher who taught at Southwest Elementary School, Nevitt Elementary, and other elementaries within Kyrene School District, which operates in Tempe and Phoenix. So this guy, he probably been doing these type things for years, man. It's my first thought when I saw it.
He's got the pictures and the videos on his computers.
Yeah. So he had 13 images depicting the expectation of a minor, according to court documentation. He's being held on $5,000 bond.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Sick man.
Wait.
He know somebody.
He has images of children on his computer,
and he's being held at $5,000.
Exactly.
Yep.
All he got to pay is $500 to get out.
10% if that's the way they do it here. Yeah.
All right.
I ain't never messed around.
Well,
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that was the news for the day. The word on the street.
Word on the street.
Word.
Ladies.
All right. So, every week Sister Souljah comes to y'all with something different.
Mm-hmm.
This week, we are going to discuss women who post nudes online. Why are they doing it? Is it for attention?
Of course.
Is it because they're single and they think they can do whatever they want?
Some ain't even single.
Right. No,
they want them likes.
Or are they married and still posting pictures like this?
Well,
what do you think?
Man, I want to keep my filter on.
No filter.
Because I could get a little overreacted, but I just don't understand. Like, you have a nice body, congratulations. Everybody has their own types and stuff, but it's like, why do you have to put it out there? Are you modeling? Are you getting paid for it? And then when it comes to that point,
doing this for free.
Are they doing it for free? And it's like, you have people know you on there, and it's like, if you don't have kids yet, those pictures come back, It's like, I don't know. I just.
You already got kids and still posting pictures like that.
Or you see the pictures with the kids in the back. It's like.
Or the kid taking a picture of them and the kid's like, oh, snap, I got myself in the mirror too.
Yeah, like. I just don't get it.
You ain't never did sit on the bathroom counter and pick.
No, I can't even reach the bathroom counter. It's like, I don't understand. Like, you have a great body, congratulations. You have a great bra, congratulations. Victoria's Secret had a sale, but that's it.
Victoria's Secret ain't a secret no more. It's all over Facebook.
Her secret's everywhere.
Well, I mean, what you think, Ken?
Well, I think if you're using it for financial reasons, or you're trying to get some exposure, that's one thing,
right?
But I think for the most part, a lot of them, they do it to get some affirmation from other people. And the crazy part, especially in the TMZ world, and all these paparazzi showing up everywhere. Like, when I grew up, you didn't know who was straight, you didn't know who was gay, you didn't know what people did when they was on vacations, you didn't know none of that kind of stuff. Now it's like everything is so much in front of the camera, and a woman can just be bending over to pick her child up, and they go, look at her stomach right here.
Right.
So now you have this woman who probably thought, body shaming. And it's like, man, I can't even pick my child. Now I'm in the gym. Now I'm watching what I eat. Now I'm looking anorexic. And, we doing a lot of unhealthy things because of the imagery. But the crazy part, women do that to women.
Right.
Most men, we like to have a little something to hold on to. You know what I'm saying? Like, women, the shaming part comes from women shaming other women. Men don't, we don't get out with all that kind of stuff. But it's just sad that people feel like they need to get love that ain't even real love, because these same people who love your picture when you doing good, or you out there put some clothes on, you doing something positive, see how many likes you get there.
Right, exactly.
That's true facts.
If it's not your booty and your ass showing, you're not getting the 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 likes. Because they get 1,000 likes on
Instagram is amazing.
Right.
7,000 likes. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, man. 7,000.
On just one picture.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, today, we always, all of us are looking for acceptance. Everyone wants to feel beautiful. Everybody wants to feel like that they're a part of something, and that they're beautiful. And everybody want to feel as though that other people feel that they're beautiful. And I understand those parts of things. I just think that sometimes we go too far. Like nowadays, every picture women take, most of the girls are bent over in the picture. Either they're sideways bent over, or somehow their booty is showing in the picture, where their face is turned contorted toward the camera to make sure that their face is shown and their booty shown at the same time.
Right.
So this is how they take pictures now.
Or they do the one where the camera's up here and it's shooting straight down
to their boobs,
and you like, well, you can't see past here. You know what I'm saying? I saw one woman, we were Facebook friends, and I looked at some of her pictures and they were all headshot. And I asked her, or shots of her friends. I said, why you only got headshots? She was like, well, I'm trying to work on my body, and until I feel comfortable sharing it. I'm like, man, you shouldn't let people make you feel uncomfortable like that.
That's real.
But, you know, you can only talk to certain people.
Because everybody has to understand, man. No matter what, everybody is not going to like you. Somebody is going to have something to say. Most people don't like me. I don't really give a fuck, man. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Most people don't. They unfriend me on Facebook. That's pretty normal. People don't like what I have to say. You know what I mean? But hey, dog, that's me. I'm not going to change who I am.
Right.
Some people don't agree with the things I say. I'm not going to change what I'm saying.
Right.
So don't change who you are because people don't like you. Some people are big, some people are little. Don't just be yourself. Be happy who you are and try to be happy with you.
Like
what you have.
The one girl, I forget which celebrity it was. She came out and posted a picture of herself on Instagram, but the photo was unedited. And all of her previous photos have been edited where it's taken out all the cellulite, it's doing this, and girls are just so they're hard on other women.
Yeah.
I think.
And that's the thing. The filter game is on a million right now.
Man. There was no filters. What happened before? You know, now there's filters.
You got to see how ugly these chicks were.
You don't even know
these
who
are traps,
they are.
is what I call them. It's a straight up trap. You get there,
filter trap.
If you don't find a picture without a filter, and then you see it without that filter, you like, what?
And not just the ugly. Now there's guys that look like girls and girls look like guys, and they're really guys. They're really girls.
It's the extreme catfishing era right now with all these
extreme.
And I shout out to the women. I if you wear makeup, that's cool, but I like a woman that don't wear no makeup.
And me too.
You know what
me too.
I like a woman that don't really wear wigs. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying, like, I'd rather have a woman that's hair just whatever. You know what I'm saying? But at least I just want to know if the real her. Right. You know what I'm saying? I dated a woman. I swear I never saw her real hair. She either had it braided or she had a wig on, like, all the time, and it just got to a point I was just like, it's too much.
Then wondering why they don't have any edges. Why this all over here?
I saw
they
some
got
chick,
5 heads going on.
Her hairline was like Stephen A. Smith. I said, come on, man.
Stop. Oh, got the LeBron James hairline going on.
Oh my goodness gracious. Lord. All right, we going too far now. What's next? What we got next going?
Oh God, that's another story.
Right.
Man.
Yeah, that's gonna be another story.
Oh man, yes it is.
Women pulling their edges out. So this week, you know, we have a weekly meal. This week's meal is buffalo chicken sliders with coleslaw.
People say yes.
And guess what, guys?
What?
We brought some in.
Oh Lord.
For you guys to sample and review.
Is the slaw on top of the sandwich or on the side?
On the top of the sandwich.
But he don't like coleslaw, so if you don't want coleslaw,
on the side.
Thank you. Can I get? I may have to get mine wrapped up to go because I have to get up out of here in a few minutes.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna slow cook the chicken.
Okay.
What we're gonna do for our ingredients, we have 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breast.
Nice.
We're going to do 1.5 cups of Frank's buffalo hot sauce, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, ciabatta rolls to serve it on, and garlic cloves.
Oh.
To make the coleslaw, you're going to need 14 ounces of a coleslaw mix, 1/2 cup mayo, 2 tablespoons of white sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1.5 tablespoons of white vinegar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. So what we're going to do first is we're going to start the chicken in the slow cooker. We're going to place the chicken by itself. You don't have to trim the fat, don't have to wash it, just take the chicken out the container, out of the packaging, put it in your crock pot, slow cooker. And then you're gonna put in your buffalo sauce and your 2 tablespoons of butter. That's it. You're gonna cover your crock pot, cover your slow cooker, and you're gonna cook it on high for 4 hours, or you can cook it low for 8 hours.
Okay.
While your chicken is in the crock pot or your slow cooker cooking, you'll prepare your coleslaw, and then you'll preheat your oven to broil. You're going to split your ciabatta rolls in half, face up, brush them with some olive oil, and put them in the oven and broil them for 5 to 7 minutes. Once the chicken is fork tender or whatever, you can shred your chicken down to the shred that you like. Once the rolls are brown on the top, you take them out of the oven, and you're going to take the garlic clove that we had earlier, and you're just going to rub that garlic clove. You smash it and rub it over top of your bread. Paste. Not even like a paste. You're just making pretty much like a garlic bread, just to give it something.
Give a little taste to it.
Just give a little different flavor. Yeah. And then you're going to top the buns with your chicken and your coleslaw. And those that don't like coleslaw can have it on the side.
Most definitely.
Side coleslaw kind of guys.
If y'all, we're going to take a break real quick. We'll be back in a minute.
All right.
If you're watching live on the Facebook page, bear with us. We're going to take about a 2-minute break. Mr. King Kong, thank you for joining us, boss man.
Thank you for having me.
Another engagement he has going on.
Yes. My man's got a community event he got to go to.
Important man in there.
Definitely. So we're going to take a little break, take pictures with Mr. King Kong. We'll be right back. Stay with us. We'll be
appreciate you coming.
Thank y'all for having me.
No problem.
Are we live?
Yep. So we back. But look at what's Kevin? Aisha, these are the meal of the week right here.
That's it, man. It's looking
good.
good.
Where's yours at, Tita?
It's coming, Aisha.
Slow roasted.
Mm-hmm.
The hot sauce.
Yeah.
Look at that. Nita.
All right.
Beautiful.
Definitely.
Slow cooked buffalo's chicken with some homemade coleslaw to go on top of it.
And just use the sauce.
The sauce.
Mm-hmm. Are we ready for the days already into the test? Never mind.
I will be back with napkins, guys.
All right.
I did forget those.
So definitely that's the the week. Definitely.
I'm not a coleslaw fan. I even choose the coleslaw.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good because the heat from the sauce.
Yeah.
Tita needed it.
Mm-hmm.
Tita
don't do spicy. This is good.
And napkins for anyone that needs one.
Yeah. Tita made the
fingers and
Most definitely. Tita made last week's meal of the week, and it was
I saw that. You did put that in the chat that she made last week's meal of the week with the chicken wraps. How did it turn out? Was it spicy? What did you guys think?
I didn't get the spicy one. I just did like mayo spread, and we did like I drizzled like a little bit of I think I had leftovers sriracha sauce.
Okay.
So give it like a little kick because you did chipotle sauce. It was good. I did spinach and then provolone, and I did kind of like a chicken breast cut.
Word.
It was good. I like this, and it was easy and it was fast.
That's cool.
Most definitely.
They're definitely not as hot as I thought they were going to be. I thought they was going to be a lot hotter.
Yeah, because
with the red hot, the French fries, with the French
but the coleslaw, you know what I'm saying, kind of counteracts that.
Yeah.
The heat that you get in a little
bit.
bit.
Because last night we when I cooked it, I had to give it a little try to see how spicy it was going to be. So.
I was automatically sweating.
Yeah.
Instant heat.
He was like, do you think that coleslaw is going to cool it off?
It did.
Yep.
Ken got his to go.
Shout out to King Kong, man. We just got finished interviewing King Kong. Good dude right there, man.
Yeah, that's the man.
Yeah, he put in work. He puts in work.
I'm known dude for a long time.
Yep. So this we're gonna get into the lean perspective.
Yes.
Before we can't end the show without the lean perspective. Come on, y'all.
We
took our little break. We still here.
What we want to talk about this week is Candace Owens to Congress. She talked about white supremacy and white nationalism are not a problem for the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
She said based on the hierarchy of what's impacting minority Americans, If I had to make a list of 100 things, white nationalism would not make the list, Owens declared on Friday. This is just 5 months after far-right pundit Candace Owens told Congress that the rise of hate crimes is fake and the GOP's strategy was a myth. And Republicans once again invited her to testify before a subcommittee on combating white supremacy. This time around, the conservative provocateur straight up dismissed the notion that white nationalism is a problem. Early on in Friday's hearing before the House Oversight Joint Subcommittee, Owens, who late last year said Adolf Hitler was okay before he tried to go global, downplayed the threat of white supremacy in the United States, calling it nothing more than fringe issues. Reminder, the El Paso mass shooting was less than 2 months ago.
2 months ago, yeah.
And but she, I want to say a couple things on this, and I want to see what you guys think. And a lot of people things she's talking about is that the problems that she really think is the black on black violence, what they love to blame. And she said the losing of masculinity in the black community, which I thought was kind of contradictory, because how can you have black on black crime and these men killing each other if they all
with
not
the lack
masculine,
of
right? Masculinity, right? They wouldn't be killing each other if they wouldn't have all this lack of masculinity.
You can't have it that way. I mean,
right? That seemed like contradicting statements to me.
Right.
But white supremacy does not affect you physically like it used to.
Right.
Black people aren't getting hung or beat up as much as they was in the 1910s or the 1920s.
Right.
It's more of a systemic situation, right, where it's more of they see your name, you don't get the job because your name is LaQuisha, more than a Tommy or a Jane would get the job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You get typecast, and those are the type things that's hurting the black people more than a physical contact of white supremacy. So
systematic racism.
Right. It's more of those
corporate
things, systemic
racism
issues, corporate issues where we're not getting the opportunities to be able to rise up to the CEO levels that some of these other companies are allowing other people to rise to. Now, it can be some things of money and lack of education, but those things are because, are also because of the traps that they have set up in our community for people to go to jail.
Do you think in corporate world, if you had more experience than the white counterpart or Asian or whatever, versus having the educational portion, do you think you would have most people? We don't have the opportunity. We get turned down for those jobs, even though we're qualified enough to get those jobs.
Sometimes, right.
But we don't have the educational portion to back it up.
A lot of
Does
these,
that hinder?
A lot of these companies are set up by nepotism. You got to understand that it's who you know, and who knows you. Who's your cousin? Who's your uncle? Who's your best friend? Where he work at? That's usually how these jobs are gotten, and you can't blame them.
You know someone
could
who
be
knows
mad.
somebody.
Right. That's how it is. That's how these people get these jobs. Oh, my uncle, he works at this company, so my uncle gonna be able to get me on and get me on. And then his uncle was already known. He's been working there for 30, 40 years. So when he comes in, he's going to get him on. And we don't have that opportunity to be able to grab our people as much. Some people do, but not as much in these big companies, corporate companies. Do we have that ability to pull our people in and pull them into those big roles and making big money, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000? We don't have that ability.
No.
So when our kids come out of high schools, most of the time they're lost and they don't have a good direction on what they need to do to be able to be successful in their life. We are down in schools because a lot of people go to schools and then they're not getting the opportunities because they don't know the right people.
Yeah, education.
Kids are being homeschooled nowadays.
Education is whack right now.
Right,
especially
it costs
in Arizona.
Much money. It costs a lot of money. Yeah. And people are not getting the outcomes from the education that they think they should.
Like we gotta, like you say, they do, and then they see how they look or where they're from, and it's like they give the guy that doesn't know anything, but his uncle is the owner of this guy versus the guy that has the study, the schooling, not the experience or not the common, people that know people and stuff. But,
right. Well, hey, we know you got to work twice as hard. Mm-hmm. You got to work twice as hard as the next man.
Especially if you're a minority.
Right. You can't give up. You can't. I like to say stay positive, man, because you have to stay positive. You can't give up. You can't, if you can't think automatically, hey, I'm black, I can't, or I'm Mexican, I can't make it because these white people, they gonna have a leg. It don't matter, man.
It's like you gotta work harder.
You gotta work harder. You gotta have as much education and you gotta work as hard as them. It's best when you are from these neighborhoods that they are from, but it doesn't always make it 100% that you're not going to make it. Right. You can do it being from places that's not from there, or not even come to a whole new city and you can be successful. Right. So, I mean, I just don't agree with her.
I definitely agree with that portion of what you said, because like back in my little bitty home ass town, what jobs are there? Biscuitville,
right?
Bojangles, Walmart,
right?
Lowe's, Home Depot.
Your environment is a lot.
Right. So it's like, if you can't find a job that's going to help you excel in your career path and what you actually want to do, the job ain't going nowhere. Who wants to make $9 for the rest of their life and say, okay, I'm happy with $9?
Well, you can't be happy either. And a lot of us are settling. $15 is not a lot of money nowadays. $20 an hour is not a lot of money nowadays. You have to be willing to keep striving to make more money.
Now it takes two people in a house just to even for income to even make a difference.
Right.
For you to be able to even save or do the things that you want to do and be happy doing them, you have to have at least a 2-person income.
Definitely. Well, I mean, it's tougher now because of inflation and because of how much everything costs. But at the same time, I do agree that white supremacy physically doesn't hurt us as much as it used to. But like I said, systemic issues and the issues that we face going to jail, being pulled over more, those issues hurt us more. But we also have to take responsibility by saying, hey, the amount of killing,
what am I going to do different?
What can we do different in our communities to stop the killing, to stop the murder? They say black on black crime, but if you look on white crime, it's just about the same. You know what I mean? White people kill other white people.
But the thing is, they don't.
Black people kill other white people. That's how
we say black on black crime. We got First 48 that pretty much highlights black on black crime and stuff like that's going on. But if you watch it like
Forensic
Files.
It's more white on white crime where they're killing their wife.
It's more entertaining to see black people killing black people than shown on TV.
Well, this is about what the situation is. Usually, black people in those 48-hour situations, they're usually young, dumb, don't have nothing to lose, so they go out and shoot somebody right on the middle of the street and do some dumb shit. Forensic Files, they're trying to get away with the shit because they have a little money and they have something to lose. So they're burying their wife, or they're doing all this stuff to try to get away with the crime because they got money and insurance money they trying to get. These kids are just shooting up shit, man. They just some kids who got a gun and they're lost, and now we didn't fail them, because I think we failing these kids when we let them get their hands on guns at these young ages and they go do crazy shit.
That are happening.
Right. I mean, for real, we failed them. We let these kids getting guns ruin the neighborhoods. It's just as much as the adults' fault as it is the kids' fault.
It's that meme that goes around on Facebook that says kids don't know how to act no more because the village don't raise the kids no more.
Right. Nobody want to say anything.
All the parents get butthurt when the village try to help take care of the kids and correct the kids and discipline the kids.
Because you correcting their parenting now, nobody want to hear that. So
nobody wants to say, oh, you're doing wrong, instead of taking it as criticism, taking it as advice. So,
right. So I do agree with her on that. That we do have some responsibility, and
we do have to be more accountable for the things
for
that
what
we do.
The things that we are doing, and we do have marches for black on black crime, and when things happen, we march and we go to the town hall meetings and we yell and scream to try to get these guns off the streets. But when you have the rest of the state saying we don't want to change our gun laws, and our community saying we need it changed, and then they say, oh, it's the Democrats that's making the laws for y'all community. Democrats don't run just our communities. It's a state issue. And the states that usually have the most gun violence are usually Republican-run states. And I'm not talking about gun violence shooting. I'm talking about also suicide and also accidents. Because what Alaska is like #1 in gun violence when you count in accidents, suicide, and right. And that's, you have to put them all in there. You can't just be like, oh, Chicago, they shoot each other every day. Right. Alaskans out there committing suicide every day. So
it's always more or less. It's not, when they talk about gun violence, it's more or less mass shootings, black on black crime, but they don't always count in the whole as a gun violence thing, like
the accidents and suicide, and those are important. Those are lives lost.
And like you said,
why don't they matter?
It's just like a puzzle. It's like a maze.
A 5-year-old kid should be able to get their hand on the gun.
Right.
And then it ends up in he ends up as a teenager in a mass shooting with some other kids or people that he never knows, and he's never gonna know them.
Right.
Because like you say, a village didn't raise them. Right.
It's we isolate. We're isolating ourselves from everyone, homeschooling and isolating, and then wondering why these kids are getting angry and can't handle public situations. Rebelling. Right. They can't handle the public because usually we keeping them out of the public. Everybody's in the house. But that's the limited perspective for this week, episode 13. And hope y'all like that.
Man. Yeah. Another episode of DanYo&Tita podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we had Ken Kong in the building. Salute to him and his underground experience he has going on as well.
Yeah, check him out.
Wednesday. We got
Wednesday. I forgot what day it was. I'm sorry,
but here to ask.
$50 we're donating to Fathers for Fathers.
Yeah, we are going to donate to Fathers for Fathers because he won the game.
He did win.
And check out his underground experience. Just go to King Kong's page. He has all listed there. And also to check out every Monday, believe is Let's Talk About It, 7 to 9. His show on Icon Radio.
Icon Radio, right?
Yep. So go out there, support my mans and them. Support us. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like the Facebook page.
Subscribe
to the YouTube channel. Like the Facebook page.
Please like
and share. Share. It's the DanYo&Tita podcast. We out.
Holla holla. Peace.